how to use first pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use princess pronouns. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use sharks pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use flowers pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching
this is insane. What is this?
You how to use wolf's pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use paint's pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use
paint?
Hi, Benji here, and this is why it's important to be inclusive of neo-pronouns.
I've seen this guy before. I don't like him. I don't remember what the take he had, but he doesn't have particularly intelligent takes. I'm not trying to be I've seen him before. It's very lefty preachy, not very fleshed out. I'm not going to ever be respectful or inclusive to neo-pronouns. I'll call you he, she, him, they, them, your name. That's what I'll call you. I'm chill with non-binary people. You tell me to call you they, I'm totally fine with that. But I'm not going to call you a bird. I'm just not. It's not even a joke. I'm just not going to call you that. That's stupid. Bird or wolf isn't a pronoun. None of those aren't pronouns. Pronouns will generally refer to your gender identity. You cannot be a cat gender. You can be a boy, a girl, or something in the middle in some capacity. You can't be a cat. That's it. I don't care. It goes that far. That's it. Okay, I could be 100% on board with somebody who was maybe not born a male, or they weren't supposed to be born a male or a female. You know what I mean? I get that. I totally get that. Nobody was ever supposed to be born a cat. So there you go. But
this creator is currently facing backlash.
Yeah, I'm not going to call you frog or frogs. It's not going to happen. I'm just not going to talk to you as a person. I'm just gonna not talk to you. If you insist on not calling, I'm just never gonna have a conversation with you. I'm not gonna call you frog. I'll call you by your name. Feel free to go around telling people to call you that, but I'm not gonna call you frog. And if you insist, I will just not talk to you. I'll ask you what's your name, and if you say your name is frog, then I'm just gonna walk away. Just gonna walk away from you. That's just what's gonna happen.
Educating people on how to use neo-pronouns like frogs. The argument is that such pronouns are taking things too far and justify hatred towards the LGBTQIA+ community.
No, that's not the argument. Maybe anti-LGBTQ people will make that the argument. That's not the argument. The argument is you cannot be a frog gender. So I'm not going to call you a frog. That's the argument, okay? Right? You're trying to take it as extreme as possible and say, because there might be some conservatives that say, see, neo-pronouns are going too far, so I hate all LGBTQ people. You're trying to say that we should be completely reactionary to that, and that's why we should be okay with neo-pronouns. No. Bad argument. Okay? No. Not at all.
The same argument is often used against flamboyant gay men, that they're doing too much and encouraging homophobia. But just
I feel like these things are very disanalogous. It's okay to not like flamboyant gay. I don't like anybody who's way too extra, I guess you'd say. I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, this isn't the same argument. The guy who's flamboyant, okay, they're just extra, what do you want to call it? Extra gay plus, Disney Plus. That's fine. I don't care. But somebody, you want to call you a frog? I'm not doing that. I can rock with a super gay dude. Sounds fun. Okay, that's why we have drag. Okay. I'll hang out with RuPaul. Sounds cool. But I'm not going to hang out with somebody that calls himself a frog. Because it just doesn't make sense. A gay person who's very flamboyant, yeah, I'm rocking on him. Okay, cool. I don't give a fuck. But I'm not calling you frog, dude. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Yeah, gay prime. Gay prime.
It's like how shaming flamboyant gay men just restricts them from being their authentic selves, while doing nothing to stop those who are committed to
No one is authentically frog.
Homophobic. Shaming people with neo-pronouns is just as pointless and harmful. The responsibility should be on others to not be prejudiced, not the community to police itself. It is justified to find neo-pronouns uncomfortable and tricky to use. But
it's not uncomfortable to use. I'm not uncomfortable calling you a frog. I'm just not going to do it because it doesn't have any logical foundation to it. There's a logical foundation to they, them, he, she. You know what I mean? All that shit. There's logical pronouns to that, or there's logical thought processes to that. They're oh, hey, I'm trans in some capacity. I don't identify on the gender spectrum where my sex would say I belong, but I identify here. Oh, that makes sense to me. Okay, so check this out, right? Let's say you're here you go. We're gonna do spectrum here. Okay, you have boy, and then you have girl. right? And let's say you're born like a biological boy, but like something goes on, whether it's partly environmental, partly biological, or even has something that happens in the womb, because we know that there is hormone washing in the womb. So there's like a whole bunch of different things that could happen. And they're like, hey, you know what? I don't actually identify as a boy. I identify as a girl. I know I'm a biological boy, but I identify as a girl. I feel very strongly about this. I have like, a deep-seated amount of like dysphoria associated with being born a boy, and I want to express myself differently. Totally get that. Or maybe they want to be born, or maybe they feel closer to like a they, somewhere in the middle. Totally fine with that. Check this out, though. Nowhere in here is a frog. Frogs don't exist anywhere on here. Okay, so basically what happens is now you have, I don't even know how you would do a spectrum for animals. Where would you go from like humans to fucking are insects animals? Like, I don't even know. What's the opposite of a human? Like dirt? I don't even know what the opposite of a human being is. Let's say it's a plant. Yeah, sure, it's a tree. It's the opposite of a human. Or a blade of grass. All right, somewhere, I guess on here a frog is. Maybe it's over here. So now you're like, I don't feel like a boy. I feel like a frog. This isn't the same spectrum. It doesn't even make sense. It really doesn't. So, not calling you frog. You can say you feel like a frog if you want. That's weird, but you can say you feel like a frog, but frog is not a gender. Okay? You can feel like whatever you want. You can be as crazy as you want, not a gender. Okay? Not a frogs are not it's not a gender. Okay? So there's no logical foundation to that.
We can't claim to support inclusion and freedom for the LGBTQIA+ community if we're not willing to try our best to accommodate something that's as inconsequential to us as using people's pronouns. Hope that helps. And if it did, you should pre-order my book. Link in bio.
You shouldn't pre-order anything that this person has to offer. That wasn't an argument for Neo-Pronouns. That was stupid. Yeah, they took leapfrog too fucking far. The reality is, whether you want to hear this or not, I know this might be upsetting, is that people who want to be called like frog or something, they want to be unique. That's it. There's nothing super there. They want to be different. They want to be unique. They're probably unhappy with their life. They're probably looking at a lot of stuff on like social media, and they feel like they want to be different and unique, and they feel the need to identify as a fucking frog. That's just the reality. Everybody feels that way. A lot of people want to be unique. Everybody does. Myself, you, everybody. How you achieve that uniqueness is very up to everybody else, or how you achieve that comfortability is different for everybody. Okay? For me, when I was in school, it was to be like a hardcore metal loser that was like, oh, this isn't real metal. You know, that kind of an idiot. For some kids, it's a frog. There's no adult that's calling themselves frog, and I would never call an adult a frog. That's silly. It's some kid wanting attention. So you could just be like, okay, whatever. You know, but that's all it is. You don't... There's no way that you have an immense amount of like dysphoria with not being called a frog. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I'm not going to normalize that behavior because it's stupid.